My name is Adam and welcome back to my channel where I make a tabletop role-playing game from scratch on camera. And we're starting fresh on a new RPG today. I have to say though, when I say new, I don't mean I'm throwing out everything. The Wandering Trader, the core mechanics, inventory and magic system, most of it will be there, probably with a few tweaks. But I painted myself into a corner with the setting and the rules I made for myself. So I'm going back to the roots of what I really want to do. Make an RPG which has all the things I want to have in an RPG. With that said, let's make some pillars. D&D has a pillar design. 3 pillars that define the scope of the game: exploration, social interaction, in combat. I could talk about how the pillars are not treated equally, not in mechanics, rules, or even in time per session, but I'm rather more keen on talking about my own pillars. I thought that I also wanted 3 pillars that could guide me through the game design. And these 3 pillars are exploring yourself, exploring the unknown, and exploring together. I felt very clever when I added exploring to all the pillars, but now I also feel kinda dumb. Anyways, exploring yourself. Characters will face towering obstacles through the game. While on their journey, they will make decisions that define their motivations, morals, and beliefs. These moments form bonds to others and show the true morals of the character. The game aims to make the players form deeper connections with their characters, the world they live in, and the players they play with. One thing I've been thinking about lately is social interactions. And someone on the internet, who I forget who was, said that social interactions can be categorized into 2 different categories. Social encounters, which is where you try to reach a goal through social interactions, and role-playing, where you interweave backstories, share reflections, and forge relationships. The role-playing part is something I want to focus on, and therefore something I want a mechanic for. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but some way to gain an advantage or maybe even gain a level by reflecting over your own journey and your relationship with your character. If you know any good role-playing games that does this, please let me know in the comments. Exploring the unknown. Most of the world is unknown, and it will always be this way. The stories told in this game are those of exploration, either investigating the unknown to unravel hidden truths, or to navigate through the unknown in a perilous journey to survive. The game aims to build a world of mystery and risk, and interesting mechanics that support investigation and exploration. The characters will be rewarded for exploring and investigating, and especially I want the mechanics to free the players to think creatively. Not only that, I want the world to be interesting and unique and make it easy for the GM and players to make memorable stories. I must admit that this is probably the hardest pillar to complete, but I have not run out of episodes yet, so it's okay. Exploring together. Characters will engage with the world and leave a lasting mark. A safe haven to attract like-minded people, people in need, or resourceful people who aid the characters towards their goals. The game aims to make crafting resources meaningful and have mechanics for long-term investments in settlement building. Lastly, I still want settlement building. I want resource gathering and crafting to have a mechanic in the game, as well as companions, alliances, and favors. I want the mechanics of the game make it so that the players feel that they're making a difference, and not that it's only the story that makes it so. And when we're talking about story, there's something I've been thinking about when it comes to these pillars. The GM should have their own pillars too. I often feel that GMs are often neglected in role-playing games. Not neglected per se, but that their tools for running the game are underdeveloped. I mean, sure, it's nice to have a couple of pages with a table of story prompts and a list of appropriate monsters to fight, but we can definitely do more. That's why I also have 3 pillars for the GM. Building tension. The stories told through this game are intense and risky. It's important that the players feel a growing tension in the story and that tension indulges their decision making. The game aims to provide tools for the GM to implement tension in their game so that players get intensely involved in the story. As I said in Explorers RPG, I want a tension mechanic. Something the GM controls that forces the players to think about their actions. I have a mechanic I've been developing for a while now, so I'll probably make a video on it soon. Building the world. The world is unique and mysterious. It has a rich history and a future of many possibilities. Every town has its charm, every being has its motives. It is an infinite well of stories and interactions. The game aims not only to have an interesting world, but also help GMs easily expand the world into a personal world they enjoy to share. I want the GM to have an easy time to populate the world. Anything from monsters to quests and NPCs, I want to have tools that require a lot of time and those that can be used when improvising. A range of tools that can help the GM become a better GM. Building stories. The journey of every character are tales of fun and engagement. Even though the GM is the conductor of these tales, it's not their sole responsibility to make the tales engaging. The game aims to support the GM in building interesting stories, from the grand strokes of a campaign to the minute interactions of a scene. Again, I want stories and interactions to be the main focus, and that also means making GMs able to generate interesting stories and make them able to provide meaningful rewards like favors, bonds, or even critical resources, so that the players feel that the effort was worth it. I think the GM is a crucial part in making an RPG feel good, so I want to make the game accessible for the GM as well. And I guess that's it for today. This was maybe a little weird episode, but I'll expand on these ideas eventually. I hope. Maybe I'll change my mind again. At least, I hope you agree with these pillars, and maybe you want to share some of the pillars of your own game down in the comments. And of course, like and subscribe so that you can get a notification about the next video, and don't forget to share this with your GM, they'll probably like it. See ya!